પુલવામા હુમલાનો માસ્ટરમાઇન્ડ મારી ગયો છે. સેના પ્રેસ કોન્ફરન્સ કરી સીધા છીએ.
Well, we are continuously learning our lessons. After the convoy attack, as you know, the one which you talked about, the civilian traffic was stopped. Certain other measures which I would not like to discuss have also been initiated. So we learn and we draw lessons from everyday affairs, including yesterday's operation.
So my question to SP Pani is, you're saying lesser number of militants are now joining ranks. How do you really suggest that? What is the total number of militants currently operating? How many are foreign and how many are local of them? And if specifics, if you can give us details regarding Jaish-e-Mohammed.
No, we will not be able to give you the exact numbers. As I said, it's operational details. But as we all know, whenever people join terrorism, they just flash their photographs and other thing, and the villages also get to know. A missing person report is registered. On the basis of that, it is all in the open domain. You can see the recruitment in last 3 to 4 months. Actually, it has significantly come down. That is what our contention is.
Sir, a related question. पूरा हमले के बाद 2 वीडियो सामने आए थे जिसमें लोगों ने बोला था कि वो फिदाई बनने जा रहे हैं. तो कितने ऐसे लड़के हम देख रहे हैं जो एक्टिव होंगे कश्मीर में जिन पे आपकी नजर है, और खासतौर पर जैश-ए-मोहम्मद के कितने फिदाई हमलावर लोकल लड़के कश्मीर में होंगे?
नंबर की बात जहाँ तक आप बोल रहे हैं, जैसे आपने बोला 2 वीडियो सरफेस किए, और यू नो व्हाट हैपेंड टू दोस 2 वीडियोस. एक जो उसमें आया था वो कुलगाम एनकाउंटर में वो मारा गया था. दूसरे बात जो है, अभी जो नेक्स्ट जो वीडियो आया है वो भी उसका ऑथेंटिसिटी वी आर ट्राइंग टू चेक. ऑल्सो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड देयर आर malicious campaign in the social media trying to actually superimpose images and trying to create this kind of pure psychosis. So we should not go by that. These videos are subject to investigation. We are doing it and we shall get back to you on this.
Sir, my question is that about the Pulawama attack, you know, all the people who were the conspirators in the attack, are they now being eliminated, or there still people who are out there? And also about the videos and the Jaish militants, we're only seeing that Jaish militants are being targeted in almost all the encounters that took place in the recent past. Does that mean that Lashkar and his are hardly they are active on the ground? It's only the Jaish which is there. So have they gone in hiding?
Okay, first of all, about the people who were eliminated of the Pulawama convoy attack, as I said in my initial remarks, the main conspirators, that is Kamran and Mudassar, who are the main heads of JEM, they have been eliminated, and we had gone very, very forcefully behind Jaish-e-Mohammed in the last 3 weeks. Aim was to eliminate them at the earliest so that they are not able to carry out any Pulwama-like attack again. So we have reasonably succeeded in that. Like I told you, in 21 days, we have eliminated 18 terrorists, and 14 of them from Jaish-e-Mohammed and 6 of them in Alpha Plus category. So that is the main focus of the security forces over the last 3 weeks, wherein we have gone behind Jaish-e-Mohammed and tried to eliminate their top hierarchy so that Pulwama type of incident is not repeated. Now that is first. And second part of the question was?
Sir, has his and Lashkar gone into hiding?
Okay, again, it's not that we have stopped looking at Lashkar and Hizbul Mujahideen. As I told you earlier, we have killed 2 of Lashkar and 2 of HM terrorists in these 3 weeks, and they are very much on our radar. And only thing is, we lay more focus on the Jaish-e-Mohammed for the obvious reason, so that they are not able to repeat an incident like that. Notwithstanding that, Lashkar and HM and other tanzeems operating in the valley, they are very much on our radar, and the actions are being taken against them.
GSC साहब, मेरा नाम रिफत है और मैं नेटवर्क 18 से हूँ, और मेरा सवाल ये है कि लास्ट विलेज जो उंगली साइड में एक है सिलीकोट में 2 साइड से फेंसिंग है, यानी कि जब उनको एंटर होना पड़ता है अपने विलेज में, वहां पे भी फेंसिंग और बैक साइड से भी फेंसिंग. वहां के लोग काफी टाइम से मुतालबा कर रहे हैं कि वो फेंसिंग जो है रिमूव की जाए और उन्हें अपने विलेज में आसानी से आने जाने की इजाजत दी जाए. आर्मी को ही इजाजत देनी पड़ रही है आने की भी और जाने की भी काफी टाइम से, लेकिन आज तक कोई ये फैसला नहीं दे पा रहा है. इस तरह के कुछ और भी विलेजेस हैं जो ये कह सकते हैं कि रात को वो आर्मी के प्रिजन में होते हैं. तो क्या उनको प्रिजनर शिप से बाहर लाया जाएगा? क्या आपकी तरफ से कोई ऐसे जो है कदम उठाए जाएंगे, क्योंकि शायद कोई ध्यान नहीं दे रहा है, वहां के लोग काफी सारे लोग हैं, एक्स सर्विसमैन भी.
First of all, I take offense to your words of prisoners of army. There's nothing like that. Please. Please. Okay. Notwithstanding that, जो villages फेंस के आगे हैं, क्योंकि फेंस एक एंटी इन्फिल्ट्रेशन सिस्टम है और उस एंटी इन्फिल्ट्रेशन सिस्टम को हर वक्त टाइट रखना और उसके ऊपर नज़र रखना बहुत ज़रूरी है, लेकिन उन विलेजर्स को आर्मी उन विलेजर्स के हमसाया है वहाँ पे हम लोग. We live with them. You go for one day and you file a report. We live with them 24/7 for 365 days. They are like our families there. And we allow them at the time of their choosing as to when they want to come out. And there are instances at 2 in the night we have taken out the pregnant ladies carrying the cot on the shoulders of the Jawans. We care so much for our citizens in that area. So I think that sums it all.
सर आपसे यही आप उड़ी की बात चल रही है जो पिछले कुछ दिनों के दौरान लगातार सीज फायर वायलेशन लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल पे हुई है, तो पहली बार देखा गया है कश्मीर में भी जो है वहाँ पर भी ये हो रही थी उड़ी के सेक्टर पर. तो लेटेस्ट स्टेटस जो है बिटवीन ऑन द सीज फायर वायलेशन फ्रंट, व्हाट इज द स्टेटस इन द कश्मीर वैली ऑन द लाइन ऑफ कंट्रोल? कहाँ पर कोशिश हुई और कहाँ पर आपने जवाब दिया है पाकिस्तानी फायरिंग?
ऑफ लेट जैसे कि आपको मालूम है कुछ दिन पहले भी उरी सेक्टर में पाकिस्तान ने अनप्रोवोक्ड फायरिंग की थी और कुछ हमारी सिविलियन कैजुअल्टी कम्बलकोट विलेज में हुई थी. परसों रात को भी फिर पाकिस्तान ने अनप्रोवोक्ड फायरिंग की है, फिर कमलकोट विलेज में 5 सिविलियन कैजुअल्टी हुई हैं और उन सिविलियन कैजुअल्टीज़ को फर्स्ट एड भी आर्मी ने दिया है, उनको वैक्यूएट भी आर्मी ने किया है और उसके लिए हम कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं ताकि जो सिविलियन कैजुअल्टी पाकिस्तान क्या कर रहा है, पाकिस्तान क्योंकि आर्मी को हिट नहीं कर पा रहा तो इसलिए सिविलियन विलेजेस जो गाँव बॉर्डर के साथ एलसी के साथ साथ है उनको हिट कर रहा है. एंड खास करके कमल कोट इन द लास्ट 2 काउंटर सीज फायर वायलेशन हैज कम अंडर ट्रमेंडस फायरिंग फ्रॉम पाकिस्तानी साइड एंड सिविलियन कैजुअल्टीज हैव हैपेंड बिकॉज ऑफ पाकिस्तानी फायरिंग व्हिच इज अनप्रोवोक्ड. Notwithstanding that, Indian Army has given a befitting reply and we have hit their military targets from the where these weapons were firing in the counter to their ceasefire violations.
मैं मंजूर मीर इंडिया टीवी से. मेरा सवाल है कि रिसेंटली जो इंसिडेंट हुआ क्या उसके बाद क्योंकि या पाकिस्तान में मिलिटेंटों की मदद में कोई कमी आई है या सिर्फ पाकिस्तान दिखावा के लिए ये सब कुछ कर रहा है?
I think इसके ऊपर नेशनल लेवल के ऊपर Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Air Staff and the national leaders have made a lot of statements and I think we should go by that and I would be happy if you talk to me about 15 Corps and Kashmir Valley.
So, hi, I'm Samir Yasser from New York Times newspaper. My question is that how many people are presently in Jash in Kashmir Valley? And second is that have you realized in your last 2 encounters that there has been a lot of casualty of security forces in these 2 encounters? Have you realized that these guys are much more hardened than the people who are locally, who are, for example, the Kashmiri militants than the Pakistani militants? Because we saw in Handwara that the encounter lasted for a long thing. And I have a request. Sir, I'm sorry, you said that it's a propaganda, but I think you should send somebody to the national highway and see how people are being harassed in the vehicles. This has nothing to do with the questions, but just someone I personally felt it.
Okay, the last part of the question first. I don't have to send anyone. I got the whole of my army on the roads doing the ROP. And you all know it. You know it from the heart of heart. You're smiling also. That you don't have to wait for more than a minute, minute and a half to 2 minutes. That sums up the third part. First, and coming back to the how many numbers in the valley, I think IGP Saab has already said this. These are operational details. We would not like to divulge it. But notwithstanding, suffices to say, in the last 3 months or so, the local recruitment has come down. And that's a good sign. And coming down to the another part of the question was the terrorist and our own casualties. I would like to take some time on this. Ladies and gentlemen, what happens is when the encounter starts, it's invariably in the last few encounters, it's in the built-up areas where a lot of civilians are there, where a lot of property is there. We take time and we make efforts to, first of all, evacuate all the civilians. We don't want a hostage situation. We don't want a situation where civilians are injured or suffer a loss of life or property in the crossfire. As a result, we take more precautions and we take more risks to evacuate the civilians before we actually go in for an actual firefight. And in that case, when we are trying to evacuate the innocent civilians, there are chances, if you see all the operations where the casualties have happened to us, it happened in the initial stages. Initial stages, because we are trying to take out the civilians, we are exposing ourselves, if I can use that word. And that is basically because we don't want the innocent civilians to get hurt, injured, or killed in this type of an operation. So that is why the casualties which happened on our side happened because of that, but that will not deter us. We will continue to carry out our operations with surgical precision and giving all possible help and assistance and protection to the civilians.
Sir, would you be at least able to say that whether their presence is much more in North Kashmir as compared to South Kashmir? At least, can you say that?
So can I add a point in this that can we say that after these operations, their operational capability has been crippled to the extent that they cannot really carry out another Pulawama-like attack? Can we simply say that right now?
See, I cannot answer any hypothetical question. What I have told you is that the leadership of the JEM has been hit and hit very badly. And it is work in progress, and we are still continuing to do it. As we are sitting here now also, before I moved in, a very solid information had just come in. And that was why I'm trying to tell you this is basically because it's a work in progress. I will not like to give any more details of that.
Kamalji, please. No, please wait, Kamalji, please.
Sir, this is Asif here. I work for News 24. Sir, I have two questions, one for you and another for Aji Kashmir. So first question pertains to your domain. You gave us details about encounters and killing of militants in hinterland. What is the position at LOC? Because Snow is melting down now. Do we felt any attempt of the infiltration by militants on LC? And do you have any reports that there are camps of these launching pads around the LOC and militants, number of militants here they may try to infiltrate in this part of Kashmir?
Okay, as regards the situation on the line of control, I have told you in the 15 core zone, that is the Kashmir Valley line of control, the ceasefire violations are happening in the Uri sector. In the Uri sector, the ceasefire violations are happening, and I have given the details of that, and also the civilians being targeted unprovoked by the Pakistan Army and the civilian casualty which have happened. However, in the balance of the area, the snow levels are quite high, as you are aware, and in balance of the areas of 15 core zone, in the recent past, no ceasefire violation has happened. Coming to the point about the launch pads in the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, yes, we have the information, and there are intelligence reports of terrorists waiting in the launch pads to infiltrate whenever they get a chance, and we are alive to it.
Sir, my next part of question is for IGP Kashmir. Sir, there are reports that government may announce kind of a